All right, get your last breath in. I was like, because I might not be very nice about it. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting for April 17th, 2024. I guess, Lorena, are you doing the meeting minutes?
I am.
Okay. So we know that Ms. Kilby and Mr. Hobbs are absent tonight. So we will start off with approval of minutes. Did everybody receive the minutes? And that would be from our March 13th meeting. Everybody got a chance to look at those? All right. If I could get a motion to approve those minutes?
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay. Second?
I second that motion.
Why, thank you. Does anybody have any additional comments, corrections on anything? All right,
Not at
then
this
all in
time.
favor of accepting the minutes from March 13th, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. So we are going to jump over to Lorena. We're going to have great updates.
Yes.
So I'll throw it over to you, please.
All righty, thank you. Unfinished business, update on Ballinger Park. This will be the last time I get to say anything on this because Ballinger Park, as we know, is open. Woohoo! Yes.
Yay.
The grant reimbursement requests have been submitted. Thrilled that that's done and we can finally get those off the books. And good news, we're eligible for an additional $88,000 from the Land Water Conservation Fund through DNR because our construction costs rose during the course of, the year that we were working on it. Over a year, actually, I think. Anyway, so that's good. So I'm just gonna break it down real quick here. Total construction only costs were $825,500, roundabout there, with an additional $192,000 for engineering alone. So that would be a grand total of just over $1 million, and we received in total $474,129.52 in grant funding. So that left about $543,000 balance, which the city covered for that. So very grateful for all the grant funding and that additional $88,000 from National Park Service through state DNR. We had that ribbon cutting on Saturday, April 6th, and the weather was good, and it was a great time. It was really nice to have the Ballinger family there to help cut the ribbon since they donated that first parcel of land, which kicked it all off. Everyone seems to be really enjoying it, so that's great. That's awesome. We're happy to finally have it open and available for the community to enjoy. And also, I want to make a note regarding mention of a suggestion of picnic tables there up at the front area. That was discussed during the construction process with Public Works, and it was decided not to put them in because generally what we found in other areas, other parks where there are picnic tables, there's more litter. No matter how, you can put a trash can right next to the table, and I don't know why people just can't get their trash in the trash can. So that's something that we really want to dissuade is litter, especially out there. So we're looking at other alternatives maybe, but if anybody wants to picnic, they can do it the old-fashioned way and go and take a blanket and enjoy their picnic in the middle of a nature park. So plenty of areas out there to do that in. We do still need to plant the evergreen trees on the edge of the park property near the Ruby's house. And we also need to install the fence for the Perrys. And those things will be done as the schedule allows for Public Works and the weather.
Okay.
So, and then those will be the last couple of things. Also, we have ordered, oh my gosh, almost 200 pounds of native perennial wildflower seeds and milkweed seeds. Milkweeds, we tried transplanting them. They don't transplant well at all. So they're best grown from seed. So that's what we're gonna do. So all of that'll go in this spring to help bolster up the pollinator garden. And some of it's supposed to be deer resistant plants, so we'll see about that. I don't know.
Not always.
I mean, there are plants that are completely deer
Right.
resistant, like the lavender that
lavender
we
and the
planted out there.
sage
They didn't
probably,
touch it.
yeah.
Yeah, and other plants they nibbled on but didn't like the taste of. So we'll see how that goes. But hopefully all of those seeds will germinate well and grow, and it'll be a huge spread of color out there. That'll be beautiful. Any questions on Bollinger before I go? We're good?
Well, I just want to say that, number one, it's really happened.
Yes.
And we are so appreciative of you doing most of the legwork. I mean, yeah, I mean, you did it all by yourself.
Well, I didn't do it by myself, and the
Well,
labor.
I mean,
no.
the legwork, but I mean.
Steve Hobbs and
I
his
know.
crew and
Well, of
Public
course.
Works.
I mean, I
yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, making it happen, especially the grants, it wouldn't have been possible, really,
Yeah.
unless we had it all together, so.
And
that's
I do
very
want to throw out,
exciting.
the previous park director did get the one grant, the
Oh,
Community
okay,
Parks
yeah.
and Playgrounds grant for
Okay.
150.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So
So-
it was definitely a citywide team effort, for sure, between, the city engineer and you guys and Public Works, the contractor, everybody, and the artists who provided the sculptures.
I
It was great.
know.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Very
So,
exciting.
yeah, we're
so.
good. Yep. Okay, so next, update on Memorial Park expansion project, our next big project. We did receive comments back from Forest Conservation and State Highway, and they wanted to see a couple of changes. So Arrow Consulting, the engineer, went ahead and made those changes and resubmitted the plans to just those two agencies. So we're waiting to hear back from them again. I was supposed to go before the Planning Commission at this month's meeting to request their approval on our final site plan, but I want to make sure everybody has given their approvals, all the county agencies in the state, before we wrap it up with our Planning
Yeah.
Commission. So that's been pushed to May. After they give their approval, then hopefully we can then submit the Mylars to the county, get the easement deeds recorded, and then we can release our RFP. So I'm hoping we can release that RFP in June, and then we get the bids back and award the contract in July, and then construction can start immediately thereafter. And
Wonderful.
hopefully we'll have good weather and can roll right along.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah, so that's the plan with that.
excellent.
Any questions on that one? No. And just as a reminder, and to anyone listening, we did get a huge grant from Land Water Conservation Fund on that, $864,000. So that's just amazing. It'll go a very long way
better
on that
believe it.
project. Yeah. Update on Memorial Park splash pad. The larger option was selected. That would be for the 2,600 square foot pad. And then with concrete coping and everything around it, the total footprint comes to 3,800 square feet. So that price came in at $614,431. And I put $640,000 in the capital budget for fiscal year '25 because we'll need to have a barrier wall around that. We'll need to have a little shed for the pump, so like a little pump house, and some shade structures, that kind of stuff. So we'll need that extra to account for that. So if council approves the budget at their May 13th meeting, I'm going to reach out to the contractor and start getting that on the schedule.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that'll be exciting. Yeah. Even with the best scenario, we're not going to be able to have it open this
Not for
summer
this
because fiscal year '25 doesn't start until July 1st. So even if they started work right on July 1st, we wouldn't get it open for anyone to use, before Labor Day. But it'll be available for next summer, so that'll be exciting. Yeah,
That is a wonderful thing. Yes.
yeah. Any questions on that one? And you all have seen those designs
Yes.
and everything. So just in case between now and, signing off on everything, there are any tweaks to features or design or anything, I don't think I want to push out, the 3D renderings quite yet, like we said we were going to, like, okay, here it is. This is coming soon, or coming next year, next summer. Just in case. Once it's a done deal and they're ready to break ground, okay, hey, construction notice or whatever, we're starting and this is what it's gonna look like.
That's fine, so, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, update on general park improvements. So with the turn of the weather getting a little bit better, we're making headway on some of our little projects. The Roth Avenue Park, the pathways were redone. And it was actually cheaper to redo them in concrete than it was asphalt. So I said, do it then. Let's go the less expensive way. And concrete generally looks better and can last longer.
It looks great.
Yeah, so it looks really good.
Better aesthetically.
Yes, exactly. So I really like how they did that, and it looks really nice. Flickinger Park work is commencing. The smaller asphalt pathways that lead down into the park, the two, we're going to be replacing those with concrete as well, because they're basically just sidewalks. And then the larger one, the drivable one, that's asphalt, we will be redoing that in asphalt, but it's gonna go all the way down to the playground instead of dropping off halfway and then picking up in gravel.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll go through. And of course, then we're before we redo that paving, because we're gonna need that for access. And we don't wanna tear up the new asphalt. We've gotta get in there and do some regrading, bring in some topsoil, do some seeding, plant some willow trees. So that way everything, all that stormwater runs down into the storm drain where it's supposed to go instead of lying there like a swamp. So that'll look really nice when that's done as well. The fountain at Roberts Mill is currently not working. It's on the fritz. First, it was the lights timing being off. We got that figured out or whatever. It seems like every time there's like a surge, it flips the breaker and throws the timer off, all that kind of stuff or whatever. So we got that all situated. But now there's something on the fountain side out in the water going on electrically. Our guy, we've already checked at the control box and everything on the land side and the joiner box where on the shore side before it goes out underwater, and everything's fine on that side, on our side, so to speak. So Lake Source is coming out with their boat again to go out and check things out. I tell you, when we were looking at the fountain, we were assured, oh, no maintenance. No, there's no maintenance on this. No, it's fine. Sub-zero temperatures. You don't have to do anything. Just turn it on. Yeah. And now and maybe that's true in perfect conditions, crystal clear water and, all this other kind of stuff.
Where does that happen? Yeah.
Right. But, with our pond and, sediment, leaves, trash, whatever gets in there, we have to have it cleaned out, the little filter cleaned out every year. And when things like this happen, it is what it is. We don't have a boat, and I don't think the guys feel comfortable, even if we did,
I don't-
going out there and playing with electricity and water.
No.
Yeah.
That would be a fun time.
No.
I like that too much.
So we're gonna get that fixed, and that'll be hopefully back on, especially in time for the fishing derby. Want that there.
That would be great.
Yes. Yeah. The RFP for the THS Park softball field lighting was released this past Monday. Bids are due on Monday, May 6th, and I'll be coming to you guys. We'll get our recommendation for contract award together. We're gonna have to hustle because then the council workshop is May 8th. And then, so 2 days, we'll have to get that together. And then they'll award the contract on May 13th. Now, for this and the Memorial Park tot lot replacement project, we are still waiting on the State Board of Public Works to get on their agenda for their official approval. So contractors are standing by, whatever, and whomever we award the bid to for the lighting project, they'll just have to know, we can't Grant, we can't start anything until we know those
Sure.
funds are secured. Yeah, for the
Are we gonna,
grant.
we'll just get an email from you and,
Yes.
okay.
Yep,
So
I'll have the
Be prepared
bid.
for an email.
Yes, be prepared for an email. The
Okay.
bid opening is at 11, so right after that, I'm gonna compile everything and email it over to you.
Perfect.
So you can take a look
Okay.
at it, yeah. Actually, trying to think about that, because you're a council member, so you would see that at the workshop and the meeting.
Right.
You wouldn't need to see it prior, would you? Would you need to see it prior? As the liaison to the Parks and Rec Advisory
I mean-
Board to formulate the recommendation?
We can talk.
Okay,
We
yeah.
can figure it out.
I'm not quite sure, yeah. I think I've done that in the past,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't
Because I
remember.
think it's, yeah, explain
Yeah,
it.
because the May
Yeah.
workshop is the 8th.
Yes,
Yeah,
May 8th,
Yeah,
and then
'cause
the
we need to
meeting
get
is on the
that done.
13th, right? So as soon as
but still, yeah.
yeah. And I've been checking the State Board of Public Works meeting agendas every other day. All right, did they have a new one up? Check the agenda to see if we're on there. But again, those projects are gonna be funded through the program Open Space Grant Funds. Almost completely. So that's great. So I don't want to do anything that will force us to pay out something that we don't need to.
Correct.
To pay out
Yeah.
for. So,
Understood.
yeah,
Again, another grant opportunity, which
yes.
is, yes.
Yeah, which is awesome.
I'm messing that up.
Yeah, thank goodness for grants. That's all I have for the miscellaneous park improvement updates. Anybody have any questions on any of those?
Anybody? You good? Okay.
Good? Okay.
All right.
All right, update on 2024 events. The yoga in the park dates have been set. Miss Kim from the dance studio is going to be running those for us on Monday evenings. With her busy schedule, she was only able to do 4 classes this summer, but at least it's 4 that we'll have. Our previous instructor, Sean Essed, just traveling this summer, very busy, and just couldn't do it for us. So she's actually the one who recommended Miss Kim. So she's going to be doing those July 15th, 22nd, 29th, and August 5th. And we've already got lots of signups, so that's awesome.
Awesome.
The movies in the park dates have also been set. Those are going to be Saturdays, June 29th, July 13th and 27th, August 10th and 24th.
Go over that again.
Oh, sorry,
trying to write it
yeah.
down.
So all Saturdays, June 29th,
Yeah,
July 13th and 27th, and August 10th and 24th. So a total of 5. And they're still deciding what movies to roll up, yeah. So many thanks to Taneytown Men of Faith and Carroll Arts Council for putting those together and doing that down at Memorial Park. We are still receiving registrations for our spring community flea market, for the Wine, Art, and Music Festival, and for Harvest Festival as well. These
Wow.
craft vendors are planning ahead, and they want to
Harvest.
get on the
Yeah,
books.
that's
Yeah,
good.
which is great. The Wine Festival, I have been reaching out via phone calls to beverage vendors to try to get some more on board. We have 10 vendors so far. 4 wineries, 1 brewery, 4 distilleries, and 1 meadery. But I'd like to get some more wineries and breweries. Yeah, so, and some of the wineries, I don't remember the names. I know Philosophy Winery is new. Stonehouse Urban Winery is new. A couple of the ones that we've had in the past aren't able to do it this year. Mazeroth had another event already booked. Only they said that they're going through a reorganization, so some people left there, so they're not in a good situation.
They're
right
usually
now.
very popular for
Yes,
festivals.
yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah, they said they'll be back on board next year, but this year they're just kind of in a weird spot, so, yeah. So tickets are available at Taneytown Liquors. They've been kind enough to sell them for us again, and here at City Hall, and on Ticket Leap as well. And tickets are already selling, so that's good. And I anticipate more sales, obviously, for it to pick up once I publish that list of the final beverage vendors, and get those logos out
Okay.
there and
Yep.
everything. Yeah. rock scavenger hunt is almost ready. I'm so excited.
Yay.
The rocks are all painted and sealed. I was having some trouble with the sealant. I think I've used almost the whole can of sealer on just 20 little rocks, just because I spray one side and then, okay, it's dry. Turn it over, spray the other, and then when I flip it back over, there's something on the other side. It's like, oh my gosh. So I just have to let it go and realize, okay, they're not going to be perfect, glossy, they're going to be imperfections. It's fine.
time, it'll be covered in dirt.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, so I'll be assembling the prize bags next month, and I'm going to put a mixture of kids stuff, grown-up stuff or whatever in the prize bags and stuff like that. And then I'm going to take those to the library and get them all set up, and then I'll go out and hide the rocks, and then I'll put the flyer out on
Okay.
Facebook. So I'm going to run this all summer long as the rocks keep getting turned into the library for people to collect their prize bags there. I'll get those rocks back from the library and then rehide them. And
Nice.
just keep replenishing the prize bags at the library. So I love it. I think it's a great idea. It helps people get out to the parks and engage in something, and also gets them into the library too. So
Absolutely.
that's great.
How many bags do you plan on?
Well, I've got 20 rocks. I'm going to do 20
So you're
bags
just
at the
doing-
outset.
I just wasn't sure with the
Yeah.
recycling.
I'm just going to keep going. Yep.
20, okay.
Yes, yeah. So I'm going to be in constant contact with the library. When they say, hey, somebody turned in a rock today, I'm going to go pick it up and give them another prize bag, to kind of replace
Exciting.
for every rock that I get back. I'll give them another prize bag and then go rehide it. I'm hoping that, it'll be a success. I'm hoping that the rocks all get turned into the library. Maybe some will be taken home and kept. Well, that's fine. I just hope that, some aren't thrown into the pond or down into a porta pot or who knows what.
I'm sorry.
We try to do
It's
things
not
for people,
funny.
gosh, Yeah, it's not, but you know how it goes. And a new event that I'd like to run is one for Bollinger Park. Picked this up at the MRPA conference that a few of us went to recently. This is going to be fun. Birds and Bourbon at Bollinger. So,
I need to like that one.
hey, it is. I love the alliteration. So I've reached out to the the Carroll County Bird Watching Club to see if an ornithologist can come and lead a little bird watching walk through the park. And then I've also reached out to Taneytown Liquors for them to set up a table with various bourbons for tastings. So I think all in all, maybe 2 hours at the most, depends on how long people linger to taste their bourbon. Hope they have designated drivers. But for this, because the parking there is limited, we have to have a registration and limit it to like 20, 25 participants at the most. We will have to charge a fee for this because, we'll have to pay Taneytown Liquors for the bourbon and probably pay the
Bird people.
the bird people, the ornithologists for their time. Yeah, exactly. And we'll also, I think I'm gonna buy some mini binoculars, and you can get those on Amazon or from promo groups, for relatively cheap. So, and that'll just be like a one-time purchase because they'll turn those in at the end.
Right.
And then we'll just sanitize them and reuse them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on that, actually, that was presented at one of the sessions I went to.
I was in the same session, Bill. I was
Oh, you were in
behind
the
you a few
back?
rows, yes.
You were in the back.
She did birds, bacon, and
And
bourbon.
bourbon, yeah.
Yes, yeah. But we're gonna skip the bacon this time. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Keep that for the drivers.
Yeah.
Can't
You're
drink
right.
the
You're
bourbon.
really. Oh my gosh.
Birds
Yeah.
and bourbon sounds fun anyway.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
more bourbon you have, the more birds you see.
Oh my. Yeah. I got
Sure,
those.
Or not,
absolutely.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Things,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's
So, yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, so, I mean, for the registration and the collection of the admission, at first I was thinking about Ticket Leap, because it's easy, but, I mean, I can do it right there on site as well. Okay, you're registered, check you off the list, and that's, whatever, it's gonna be $20, and collect it there, or what have you. I probably just have to turn around right to Taneytown Liquors. Here you go.
Here's your money.
Bourbons. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, do you think, the registrations for like yoga and tennis, that's all done by email, right?
Yes, well, yoga is
know if
free.
they could,
We cover
okay.
that. And the same with with
Right.
a lot of our other programs.
Sure.
Tennis is, that instructor, she's a very well-known instructor, so her fees are a little bit higher. So we subsidize parts
Parts
of
of it,
that,
right.
right? So they sign up, by email, they fill out the registration form and mail that in with the check for their
Gotcha.
part of the fee, yeah. So,
I'm wondering if we couldn't do it that way too.
yeah, we
like,
could.
You know.
Yeah, I could just do a registration form and,
And then when
we'll
it
have
fills
to
up, it just
probably do
fills
that
up.
anyway because we'll probably need a waiver, a liability waiver
Probab-
section where they
yeah,
have to sign off,
with the,
yeah.
yeah. You mix birds and bourbon.
Right.
Woo.
Yeah. So we can definitely do that and they would send in their,
I mean,
Check
yeah,
for
instead of just doing it on site, because
Yeah.
I don't know how many cars we would have at Bollinger going.
right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. So, not sure what time of year. I've reached out, like I said, to the two people that I want to get involved, Taneytown Liquors and the Bird people. So I've asked them what would be the best time. Depending on, I guess, birds' migration patterns and such or whatever, and foliage, is it better to do it in October when you have a better chance of actually, seeing
Right.
birds or, I don't know. So we'll figure that out and get that scheduled. And another event that we thought about at the conference, I don't know about this one, is a singles meet and greet at Memorial Park. That. So, well, has anyone seen the show Schitt's Creek? Little comedy. It was like half-hour session, whatever, years ago during the pandemic on Netflix or whatever. It was very popular. But they actually had one of these events where you get a lanyard and a little lock, and then you have a key, a separate key, and then you go around and you, as an icebreaker, hi, how are you? You see the name badge, and you have to see if your key fits in that person's lock. So I know this is kind of getting a little goofy.
It's an idea. You throw it out there.
Oh,
and see what
right, we'll
happens.
see. I mean, that's just kind of like a fun icebreaker activity. I don't know. I mean, what if you really like somebody there and you're like, I know this will fit. Just hang on a second. I know it'll work, or whatever. Or if you're not interested and you're getting a bad vibe. No, it's not going to fit in my lock. No,
Oh my
thank you.
gosh.
I don't know. But anyway, something to think about. Have a food truck there. I think we talked about, and then a couple of musicians in the gazebo or something. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I've seen posts on Facebook where people
Yeah.
have said, I'm new to the area, I'm trying to meet people, where's a good place to go? It's an option, and it's definitely, especially for people who are like outdoorsy, who, who like to go to the park, who like to walk, maybe people who like to hike and, are into that kind of thing.
Right.
It's not like a love connection thing. It's just meeting
Like
people.
right.
And,
Right.
and yeah, and if something
Just
happens,
hanging out.
great. If it doesn't, then you've met new people and made friends.
Right.
So yeah.
So do you think we should drop the lock and key idea? Do you think that's a little too, is that a little invasive?
Maybe a little
maybe?
too close.
It's a little shaky.
Off the lock and
Or
key.
something else along those
Right.
same lines.
But
though.
maybe it
Yeah.
could be something to
Yeah.
where they, something to where they have like 3 things that they're passionate about, like rate something,
answers.
like nature or, I don't know, dogs, whatever. And then they could
You as
find
the youngest,
somebody
you
that
tell us,
maybe
Yeah.
What are they looking
What's
for?
the in thing to do these days?
give us the update.
I haven't been single in a very long time,
No,
so I
I know.
don't
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But I guess my question would just be like in terms of like the functionality of it, like how would you envision the event? Like what would take place, I guess is.
Right.
And I guess when I was thinking about like the birds and bourbon, like what would like the flow of that look like as well in terms of like, do they get the bourbon? Is it like integrated or is it kind of like separate?
It would kind of be separate, like, the ornithologist would lead the bird watching part first up the trail, and then at the end of that, then they would do the bourbon tastings.
Okay.
Although, should it be the other way around, so they're
don't
not
know.
driving right after drinking the bourbon?
That's a great question, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
but then,
More interesting
Maybe it could
or
be,
no? I don't know.
yeah,
maybe it could be bourbon first and,
or maybe bourbon first and bourbon at the end too, I don't know.
And maybe that's for the singles as well. The
Right, there we
singles are
go,
getting
right,
bourbon.
that was
Right.
true, oh my gosh.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
I think with the
that's
singles
true.
thing you're talking about, there's music, there's food
Right.
trucks.
Yeah.
There's there's things that are there.
Right.
I guess would be, I keep doing that. Would there be like someone kind of like to not moderate the event, but like to kind of like lead it if
Right.
if there was like activities or like things that kind of built it out, you know what I
Right.
mean? Would that kind of be
Yeah.
us as Parks and Rec, or would that be kind of someone secondarily who would, I don't know.
Maybe, well, I mean, Fun Events had the,
Yeah.
the different games or whatever for a
Mm-hmm.
food truck. Maybe we could have something like that
Or
to where they do like
adult-oriented
Right.
icebreaker.
yeah,
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Roll up the axe throwing truck. Is that a
Right?
good
Oh,
singles
that's
meeting
fun,
thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Right. Right.
That's right.
There are horseshoe pits in the park.
That's true
Right.
too.
That's true. Bring out some
You could
horseshoes.
set up like a meet and greet horseshoe tournament
Yeah, cornhole.
and bocce, if you could put a couple of bocce courts up.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I mean, and that way it wouldn't have to be singles. It could be couples who are trying to meet people
Right.
in town. You know, come join your neighbor, meet your new neighbors, kind of greet us, sort of thing, play games, cornhole boards, whatever,
Right.
that could go into a whole other. This could be a new resident meet and greet.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
and
that-
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, kind of build on Bill's point a little bit, if
and add the bourbon to it.
add bourbon anytime. actually.
Everything.
But I mean, if you were gonna do it kind of like that, where it's a little bit more built out, where it is
Yeah.
kind of more, hey, just meet your neighbor, you could still almost kind of segment a portion of the activities, like, hey, and if you're single or whatever, and that could kind of be like, a part of the larger event. But I mean,
Right.
I think it's a great idea. I think, with, as you mentioned, I think we all see those posts all the time. I'm moving to the area.
Right.
What can I do? What,
Right.
all
What's in
this
the
stuff.
area?
And
What's
building those relationships is, I think just great for the community in general. So,
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll have to further explore that. Yeah, definitely. I'll do some research and see, what's been successful, what might be a little too weird to, that kind of stuff. Maybe the lock and
the
key
lock
thing.
and key
Maybe that
is-
worked on the comedy show. Maybe not practically in
I
real
was gonna
life.
say there
so-
might be like,
Yeah.
don't get near.
Right.
I think it might build some comedy. Like there'd be some
Right.
funny
Oh
stuff.
my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Especially if you get bourbon involved.
Oh boy.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
All right.
Yeah, explore options. I
Okay.
mean, we could do it different ways.
Yeah.
and, yeah, that'd be fun.
All right, we'll keep it on the list and we'll look into it and discuss further. Okay. But are we gonna go for birds and oh my God, I can't even say it. I mean, I've been drinking bourbon. Birds and bourbon at Bollinger.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tongue
And if
twister.
if anybody's watching and they have some great ideas, throw them our way.
Yeah, we're always
Email
open to new
Lorena.
ideas, for sure.
You want to help out and volunteer? Hey,
better?
Yeah.
I know
that'd be great.
a lot of it would have to depend on, seeing, all the variables that come with it and everything. But since it would be a little bit more limited in nature, I mean, I could see that if successful being one easily repeatable because, I mean, there's something about when you make something a little bit more exclusive, I feel like people really
Yeah.
like that idea. Oh, I'm one of 20 people that are doing, this experience. And like Kelly said, I mean, the park is absolutely beautiful. I mean, you add some of those elements together, I think it could be a really enjoyable time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think so too, yeah. All right, so moving on, additional miscellaneous updates. The Memorial Tree Program is gaining some interest. We've had 6 inquiries, we've had 2 plantings so far. So I think that's moving along. And I really hope it takes off because it's not only a great way to commemorate someone or something, but it's affordable. And I mean, you have a wide range of choices on the trees. I mean, from like $15 up to however much you want to spend on that. But it's definitely affordable. And it's a great way to beautify our parks, So I think that's right. Tree canopy is always important. And also, as I mentioned before, the MRPA, Maryland Recreation and Parks Association Conference was last week. in Cambridge, Maryland, and it was great. Got a lot of information, a lot of new ideas. Oh my gosh, yeah, I got back and started telling Public Works all about my ideas, and they were like, oh.
They're already exhausted.
Go.
Right, yeah, you can't go to that conference anymore. Too many ideas. And it was educational as well, and it was a good opportunity to network with other, park professionals, so it was very useful. And that's all I have on unfinished business. Anybody have any questions or anything?
Any questions? Good to go.
Okay.
All right.
All right then.
business.
New business. Post-event discussion of Easter egg hunt. I think it was a success. We had over 200 children, at least 250 participate, and the feedback was very good. The speaker system acted up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of dodgy. Sometimes it works perfectly, and then other times it doesn't. So, and we're
Didn't have
plugging
a
it.
good day that day.
No, not a good day that day. And we plug it directly into the outlets and, everything is good. Fresh batteries in the microphone. But anyway, so Dan is looking into purchasing some new equipment that'll be a little more reliable and robust. So
Thank you,
that way we
Dan.
can be much clearer and get those announcements out. I think that two challenges that I think we continue to face with the event is moving people through the line at the check-in table, giving them their raffle tickets, and the cookies and juice, and designating the areas for the
Yeah.
hunts.
We
Because
need to designate.
something, yeah, I mean,
Because what age group was that? They started going over into the other age group and taking
the 4 to 6 year olds were running down
Yeah, they
into
were
the
just
next age
looking for
groups, and
eggs and
yeah,
Yeah,
they took
so
off.
we have to find,
Right.
we had talked maybe like afterwards, like we need to like paint it or something.
Spray paint works. I think
It
spray paint-
does, but we're not gonna be able to do a whole solid line without, those areas are large. We will go through so many cans of paint, and, that's maybe just like, maybe a dashed line, kind of thing, in bright yellow paint or
Enough
something
that
like
it's- yeah.
that, so that
Maybe
way
more
something they will
steaks,
see it.
Like 3 steaks or something.
Maybe, yeah,
Something.
right. I think that the Chick-fil-A method, I'll call it, on the ticket line, the raffle ticket line, worked, just grabbing a bunch and then going down and, trying to get people moved out of the line. That worked well.
But we had a lot of people at
It
times,
was,
like
it was a lot, yeah, but
Just when you thought you were getting close to the end of the, there was more.
more people
So,
coming up, yeah.
Yeah, so that's great.
Right,
I'm
it is.
glad,
It
I'm
is
glad the
good.
community's
Man, those
coming out.
4,000 eggs went just like they were
I
going.
would yeah, it's amazing how you plan an event for it to be like, and you're done.
Just like
that.
cooking a big dinner and it's gone. Yeah, or whatever, yeah. So I definitely want to thank everyone who helped with the event, from Public Works to our volunteers, the Easter Bunny,
Yes.
and I want to, Kenny's, who gave us deeply discounted cookies and juice. Cedar Hedge donated the flowers. Thunderhead, all of the gift cards and the free game passes and everything. So everyone was really great, and love it when the community comes together.
Absolutely.
that.
That was great.
Any discussion or ideas or anything on that, on the Easter egg hunt?
We need to purchase more streamers for next year.
Yeah. I have more streamers.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can do that. Like I said, we'll do the dashed paint stripes, and then we'll put stakes with the
Yeah, we just have to get more steaks.
crepe paper.
Well, I think the problem
we
the one
we
year
have
was
them,
that it
yeah.
rained.
Yeah,
So
and
we
the,
had
and
the
the
wind.
streamers were
Yeah,
falling
and
apart.
As soon as you did
Yeah.
It was
it,
super
it was
windy,
done.
and it was like wouldn't hold anything
Right.
in place.
Or we just have to have a line judge.
Right, yeah, exactly. Hold on.
I mean, seriously,
back it up.
like, don't even. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We'll get Jerry to do that. He seems
There we
to
go.
be
He
good
is really good
Yeah.
at that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you. Yeah. Saw you pick up that blue can
Get
paint.
over on that side. No, no.
Yeah, I caught a couple.
Oh yeah, pick it up. Oh yeah, I saw some too. I was like,
They were in the little kids area. not the
yeah,
bigger kids.
right,
They
and
get excited, yeah.
I had to yell at them.
yeah, and I think it helps making the announcement on the microphone. Please leave the eggs where they are until hunts
If we
start.
had a good working microphone, which we will for next
Yes.
year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
There we go.
So, Earth Day cleanup, that's this Saturday, 1 to 3. All participants receive a lunch ticket for a free hot dog and drink from the Hot Dog Shack. And that truck trailer will be down at Memorial Park. So anyone, getting their lunch ticket and finishing up their work can run on down there and redeem that. So with Bollinger, we have 6 parks now.
That's
More
exciting.
room to cover, though. I do need some people to meet the volunteers who come to the parks and hand out the trash bags and the lunch tickets. So right now, I have Kelly,
I'll be at
At
Memorial.
Memorial.
I'll be at the gazebo.
you for the
Flickinger.
smaller ones, Roth
Right,
Avenue and Flickinger.
Right, and then I'll join up
But
with
do we need,
whoever
Right.
I was gonna,
after.
okay.
Yes, and Beth, Councilmember Cheney, has signed up. She and her son will be at Roberts Mill.
Oh, that's
Okay,
awesome.
good.
Right.
Thank you.
I'll take Bollinger because there are 2 big trash piles, junk piles, that we found deeper in the woods that, I don't want to say who I suspect they might be from, but anyway, old coffee cans and
When
detergent
is your
bottles.
bulk
Why don't you
trash?
save that?
I was
and
for
I'll
bulk
help
trash.
you with that when I'm done.
Well, why don't,
'Cause that's gonna be a
depending on how
big-
much stuff that is, can we get it ready for bulk trash?
It's
We
not
have
really
bulk-
bulk
Oh, it's
trash,
not
Scott.
bulk, it's
No.
not
It's just-
big.
It's not junk,
It's
junk, it's
just-
just piles,
it's
like,
just
that's
stuff.
accumulated. They were walking out into the woods and just dumping the trash can into the
Okay.
woods there. Yeah, like I said, old, like coffee cans and detergent bottles and light bulbs.
I
and
mean, we could
Stuff
wait
like that.
for that until after we're actually
know.
done and then
Yeah.
go
We could all- yeah, hit it
together and
together.
pitch in.
It's up to you. I was planning on hitting that one, and then the guys are gonna bring out the big trash barrels in
good,
addition to
okay.
the trash
Oh,
bags,
yeah.
and then just like,
Oh, that
just
would be
pick it
great
up and
if
just
they
dump
could
it right in
too.
there. Right.
Okay,
No, I mean, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't think it'll take me very long to get the other 2 parks
Yeah, okay.
done.
but you've got to meet the 2, so you're doing,
Well, I'm hoping to get some more
Flickinger.
volunteers
Okay.
so that, yeah, because you can't be in 2 places
now.
at one
Right,
time.
right. Okay.
Right, yeah.
And to be honest, I think they really do take a great, the community around Flickinger Park.
Yeah.
They do such a great
No, it's
job.
pretty,
That there's
yeah.
very rarely a whole heck of
Right.
a lot that needs to be done there
Yes.
anyway, so.
Memorial is where we get it.
Right, and
Memorial
Roberts Mill.
Roberts Mill, yes, indeed. And THS a little bit, although that's
yeah.
not bad. Ever since we did the rehabilitation on the skate park, I think they seem to be taking better care of it. They're proud of it now. They really
Yeah.
enjoy it, so they're being a little more responsible.
Yeah.
So I need somebody at THS Park, and I'd like to have somebody else cover, one of your 2 parks, because again, yeah, you
Just had the trash bags.
yeah, exactly, just to hand out trash bags and the lunch tickets. So I reached out to the mayor and the rest of council and Jim as well, so maybe I can get, 1 or 2 other people there. So we'll meet at Memorial at 12:30, and I'll give out the boxes of the trash bags and all the lunch tickets. And then afterwards, we can meet back up at Memorial to close it out. So I'm thinking 12:30 to 3:15, maybe 3:30. So about 3
Yeah.
hours.
I mean, or if you get done soon and just come to Memorial. 'cause,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, yeah,
it's a lot of park.
yes. So, I think that's it on that. Fishing derby. So we're all set to go on this one. Just need the weather to cooperate. This is gonna be a very busy day, not only with our derby, but soccer is gonna have a couple of games going on, and Wance is holding their annual yard sale the same day.
What time does the yard sale start?
I don't remember.
know?
It's in the morning.
It does start in the morning.
It's
Yeah,
usually,
it
yeah.
does. Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
So, so everyone's been advised, Food Lion's been advised, so the police department, they've been advised as well. Hopefully, we won't have any traffic or parking issues, but it's gonna be
I
crowded.
was gonna say, Food Lion's gonna be.
Yeah.
Sorry, Food Lion.
Yeah, it is really
Yeah, that's gonna be
crowded.
hard on them
Right.
all day.
Yeah, and just a note on that, on Food Lion, used to be, they would get their deliveries in the back in the week, during the week. But lately, they've been getting them on Saturdays when the soccer games are going on. And the soccer families have been parking so that the loading dock is obstructed.
Oh,
So, yeah, so Food Lion and soccer and I have been working together. We gave Food Lion some no parking tow-away zone signs for them to put up out there
Okay.
in that back area. We gave soccer some cones, some construction cones, so they'll also put those up to block. And then, once those signs are up, then if somebody parks there, they can be towed
There.
away, and then that's that.
Right,
And
and
after that
soc-
happens a couple of times, they'll get the message. Oh, and soccer also, Kyle also, of course, notified, all the parents and
All the
families
families, yeah.
about, do not park here. They're impeding
Well,
their
that's
delivery.
usually at the beginning of the year, they'll do that, and they'll might have to do a couple reminders,
Right.
but, right.
Yeah.
If you park there, you take that chance, so.
Yeah, once those signs are up, it's posted,
Yeah.
you're gonna get towed.
Right.
So,
And how many volunteers do you need for the fishing derby?
So for that, right now, I have 3 volunteers to measure fish. I need 3 more. It'll give us 6 people rotating around the pond. And I need 3 people for the registration table. I'll be there. You usually you don't like to measure fish, right?
I don't measure fish, but I can register, yeah.
Okay, all
All
right,
right, I'll be
okay, all right. Anybody else?
I'll let you know.
Okay, all right. Are you gonna be busy with soccer that day?
No, right now, actually, unfortunately, work predominantly only weekends, which has made it very difficult to
Oh.
engage with events and things
Right,
like that. But
yeah.
that's kind of my current situation. I'm no longer working full-time during the week. I'm
Oh.
working predominantly only weekends right now, which
Oh,
has
my
made it very
goodness.
difficult to
Wow.
engage with things, which I do apologize.
No,
But
that's okay,
yeah,
but
it's
yeah.
just-
Probably better during the week. I mean, it's
Well,
nice to spend
I'm-
time with the family or whatever.
I'm,
but-
yeah, I'm kind of on like daddy daycare duty.
Oh,
for
boy,
most of
yeah,
the week,
yeah, I
so,
could imagine.
Yeah, but it will change eventually, so.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm gonna put a blast out on Facebook looking for volunteers to measure some
I mean,
fish.
right,
Yeah.
community service hours. Yep.
Yeah.
Community and also too, yeah, for Earth Day cleanup, community service
Absolutely, yeah,
hours.
good
So
opportunity for community
know,
service. Yep.
have your paperwork ready and. I
They
guess
don't
we'll
even
need-
need paperwork
don't need
signatures now.
paperwork?
It's all submitted electronically online.
Really?
Yeah, and if the school has to verify,
They can
then they
just call.
contact you,
Okay.
because, when the parents fill it
Technology's
out and
great.
everything, yeah.
Yes.
It's great.
Okay.
And this year, we've partnered with Berserker Lures. They're a local Taneytown company. And they are going to be sponsoring half of the total cost for the free hot dog and drink for the contestants.
That's wonderful.
And they're providing, they provided coupons for their lures that'll go into every goodie bag. And they're going to have a table set up there with their lures, and they're doing some prize raffles
Nice.
for it as well for the contestants. So that'll be kind of nice. I like that, creating those partnerships. And again, it helps another business in town. so
And we're
that's good.
partnering too with soccer?
Yes,
It's
soccer
so-
will be covering the hot dogs and drinks at the snack shack. So we'll just,
Okay.
the goodie bags, we'll have the lunch ticket in there.
Okay.
And then at the end, I'll just settle up with soccer, depending
Yeah,
on how many tickets.
that's
have been turned
wonderful.
in.
So thank
Yeah.
you, everybody. Yeah.
That's all I have on those. So yeah, need a couple more volunteers for Earth Day and a couple more volunteers for the fishing derby.
I'm good for cleanup.
Are you good?
Yeah,
Which park do you want to take, which
either
one?
Memorial or the high school, either one.
Okay. Do you mind if I partner you up then with Kel? I could part you up there or put you at THS. Yeah, that's right. I need somebody at THS at the high school park. You good with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine, yeah,
All right
whatever.
then. All right, I'll put you at THS. All right. And I'll send out an email on Friday, just as a reminder of, okay, I meet up at 12:30 at Memorial
Yeah.
to start off. Okay, and then the next thing I have is capital improvement program updates. So we made some adjustments to the CIP for Parks and Recreation, accounting for the cost of the splash pad for fiscal year '25, and also updated some costs for fiscal year '26 projects. We've got Roberts Mill Park field lighting retrofits, get those old lights out and turn them into LEDs. The Roberts Mill Park playground replacement, and the baseball expansion at Memorial Park. So, and that's, I'm talking about the land that Mountain Brook has graciously agreed to donate to us, which is adjacent to, it's right across from the pond at Memorial, adjacent to where the expansion is going in.
Okay.
It would have been great to have them both timed at the same time when you've got a contractor already mobilized and doing
Yeah,
all that kind of
exactly.
stuff. But it's probably gonna be a separate project, but that's okay. We'll get it done, and that's just exciting to be able to have those extra 4 or 5 acres to put in a couple of extra baseball fields there. And I also updated some projects further on down the line in future fiscal years. The plan is to update every year for the following 6 years. So I didn't delve into too much in the future, just because I know costs are gonna be changing between
All the
now
time.
and by the
Yeah,
time we need to
all the
update that, for sure. And then I emailed you all of that,
Mm-hmm.
the updates, the revision then, yeah.
Yep.
And I think Jim said that he was gonna try to get it together for council, like, within the next couple of months to take a look at that, yeah. I've submitted all of our stuff, so we're good on that. Don't need to do anything else on that except wait and see what happens with that. And that's all I have.
All right. Any questions for Lorena? Going once. Okay. All right, so for reports, Ms. Fuller, do you have anything from council for us?
Just that we are absolutely all thrilled about Bollinger Park being opened. So glad that it is where it is and that we're going to be able to utilize it this year. And, you know, and having been out there, it's such a lovely park, and I'm really excited to take those walks myself. So, yeah, everybody should take at least one opportunity to go out and check it out.
Absolutely.
But even better,
definitely
every
worth that.
season you should go out and check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are very, I mean, everybody I run into, they're like, this is great. This is a wonderful park.
Yep, lots of comments from
like,
people
I
too,
know.
so it's wonderful, yeah. So congratulations on that, and
Absolutely.
I think that about covers that.
Okay. Emmanuel, do you have anything to add?
Nothing to add? Nope.
No?
Nope.
Mr. Kennedy?
Yeah, actually, how about that?
He's got something to say.
Although we attended one session together, I took the chance to go to a session, it was called Different Sizes, Same Goals, Navigating the Parks and Rec Landscape in Any Community. And at the end of the session, I realized that we are ahead of the curve.
All right. That's awesome.
Some of the points that they made were, how do you find new ideas for your programs and policies? Lorena has been sending out every other year a
The survey.
questionnaire
Yeah,
asking what things you like, what you don't like, what would you like to see? Check that one off. Know your demographics, the social structure, the expectations, and the growth in the area. We're pretty much on top of that. One was facilities, find shared spaces and joint use agreements with the public schools and churches and whatever.
Right.
We're on top of that one. Especially with the indoor fall, winter sports teams.
Yeah.
Getting alternative funding,
Yeah.
sponsorships with businesses and other organizations. Check.
Yeah.
Rentals of the fields and rooms and pavilions. Check. Grants,
Yeah.
big check.
That's important.
Check, quadruple, yeah.
And partnerships with your friends and foundations. Now, I'm not sure that we have
Yeah.
too much contact with foundations or anything like that.
No, I've been trying to reach
But
out
we
to
have
that Gates.
partnerships with
Yeah.
some of the businesses that help us out. And then there was a part of this where they showed splash pad. And there was something interesting, very interesting to me there. They showed to make the splash pad completely available to everyone, they showed a waterproof wheelchair. Looked like it was made out of PVC pipe with regular wheels on it.
Right.
And the rules on that were you have to advance request. And then you had to show ID on the requester had to show ID on the pickup. And then when they were finished, they would have it for a defined period of time. And at that period of time, whether it's DPW or whoever's going to just stash the piece away, would then pick it up and store it. I thought that was kind of an interesting piece. I would think that it would be easy enough to put together with the right mechanical person.
I don't know about that.
No,
I think I'd rather purchase one
that would
that's
be, yeah.
made by a
That would have to be
manufacturer.
professionally.
Yeah, just because just for liability.
Well, I'm just
reasons,
saying,
yeah.
that,
No, but that
that's
is a
what
good
it looked
idea.
like
That
to
is a
me. It
great
looked like it
idea.
was just
Yeah.
basic PVC.
And that's something that maybe, I didn't consider that. Oh, regular wheelchairs, well, obviously can't run a
can't,
motorized
right.
wheelchair in there,
No.
obviously. And a regular wheelchair with metal parts, I mean, you'd have
Right.
to dry it
You
off
can't.
right after the usage, yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah, not
that's a
ideal.
Possibility,
Yeah,
good idea.
But that piece really struck me to make it truly available to everybody. Because the piece looked to be large enough to hold an adult
Yeah,
or a child of any size
yeah,
with a seat belt or whatever to keep them secure.
right,
But
yeah, we'll have to look into that. See
And
what
that
we
might
can
be the
find.
connection with the foundations. Maybe they
Right.
can find somebody to donate one or,
right.
give
Yeah.
us.
Yeah,
More grant opportunities, possibly. Yeah,
maybe, yeah,
it's possible.
yeah, I'll look
Yeah.
into it.
but that
On the
is,
list.
that and the one that Lorraine and I were attending were two of the biggest, made the biggest impression on me.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you, Bill. So for our viewers, make sure you follow the Taneytown Parks and Recreation Department page because Miss Lorena shared something wonderful on the page today that the National Recreation and Park Association has mentioned good old Taneytown, Maryland, introducing our new nature park. So how exciting is that? We are national. Hey, we're here. That's very exciting. And, I've talked to people around the community, again, even previous council members, and, they wanted to see it come to fruition, and they're just delighted that it did. So how exciting. So thank you to everybody that made it happen. I think that's it for us. Does anybody have any? Okay. So our next meeting date is going to be May 22nd. That's different than our regular scheduled because there's another meeting. And So we've decided to meet on May 22nd. That will start again at 6:30. That will start with the Taneytown Athletic Association, and then, of course, roll into ours. With that, I will seek a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
All right. All in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All right, we will see you in May. Thank you.
Thank you.